Welcome, everyone, to Triangles for World Peace. I'm Dot Maver, co-founder of Global Silent Minute, and it is a joy to welcome my dear sisters, Kathy Newburn, Triangles Coordinator at Lucis Trust in New York, Fumi Johns Stewart, member of Byakko Shinko Kai at Mount Fuji, and Wendy Thompson in Sydney, Australia, co-founder of Global Silent Minute. Welcome all. We are delighted and honored to also welcome Awana Collectiva, our beloved sisters, the weavers, tending the sacred fire in the Amazon. We stand with you in the fire of love. Thank you, dear sisters, for offering this sacred fire in support of Triangles for World Peace, and for tending the sacred fire on behalf of all of us throughout these very challenging times. Fumi also wishes to share.
Thank you so much, and infinite love to our sisters in Ecuador, in the forest, in the Amazon, for tending this fire and burning this fire brightly for us. We gather here to awaken the divine spark, which is that fire that burns within each of us. So it's so significant to see this fire burning right now on the other side of the planet, by our sisters from the Awana Collectiva. So infinite gratitude to you, sisters.
Arigato. Muchos gracias, dear Awana Collectiva. So in this program, we will first...
Igual.
Thank
you, sisters.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Y bienvenidos.
Yeah. Thank you. Kathy, can you say something, please? To give
En español.
Thank you. Yes, please, in español.
Bienvenidos a todos ustedes de Ecuador. Y estamos muy agradecidos de tener su participación y su bondad en cuanto a esta reunión. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, hermanas. Estamos muy gustosas de acá del Ecuador, desde la Amazonía. Estamos con mucho amor, con mucha sabiduría, para seguir construyendo este camino de la igualdad, del amor, y siempre y cuando estando juntos con nuestra espiritualidad, con nuestras tradiciones, con nuestras culturas. Y muchas gracias, hermanas, por estar con nosotras y nosotros.
Muchas gracias, as our cultures come together around the world.
Sí, gracias.
So we will hear first, excuse me, about triangles, and then Byakko Shinko Kai members will share, followed by the Global Silent Minute. And then we will discuss how we can form triangles together to support building the lighted planetary network of love, light, and goodwill. So at this time, we welcome Kathy Newburn, who serves as Triangles Coordinator for Lucis Trust in New York. Kathy, please share with us about Triangles.
Well, thank you so much, Dot, and hello, everyone, and welcome from New York. The fundamental theme that all three groups here today share is world service through the power of thought. Byaiko Shinko Kai, Global Silent Minute, and triangles all share this common idea, an idea that works out as a constructive service to all humanity. We're so grateful to have Fumi Stewart's assistance in helping to bring this simple spiritual practice of triangles to new people and groups in Japan in a way that can reach out to a wider audience. One of the central aspects of triangles is a world prayer known as the Great Invocation. And we were so grateful to Fumi to provide us with a new translation of this prayer that will enable the work to go forward more rapidly in Japan. Fumi and Dot Maber have made this work in Japan possible by building upon the foundation that was already established by one of our co-workers in Tokyo, Reiko Nakanishi, who's been doing such good work in her group Esoteric Tokyo. What I'd like to share today are a few introductory words about the work of triangles, followed by a few of the ideas that relate specifically to the Japanese people in relation to this work. The work of triangles was started in 1937. It was created or founded by an individual who's not a public person, but rather an advanced spiritual teacher who works behind the scenes to love and serve humanity. This teacher is not known outwardly. He's not outwardly active in our world, but he does work as a teacher, and he has many students in both East and West, and he has done so for many years. He's said to be of Tibetan origin, and for decades, the only name by which we knew him was simply as the Tibetan. A little bit later, one of his names was revealed to be Joao Kul. He has many tasks, and one of them was as head of a large lamasery in Tibet before the time of the Chinese invasion. He's said to be one of the most knowledgeable of all the spiritual teachers in regards to the intricacies of what's called the ageless wisdom teaching, particularly cosmology, the science of the seven rays, and esoteric astrology. And he's dedicated himself to bringing forward some of this information to anyone who can respond to it. And in order to do this work of bringing these ideas to the West, he worked with a British woman named Alice Bailey between the years 1919 until 1949. And together they brought forward 21 books of esoteric philosophy. They worked together through a type of mental telepathy, and the writings that they brought forward have been translated into many languages, including Japanese. Some of the other work that the Tibetan has undertaken has been in the field of science, humanitarian work, and he's also known to be a profound spiritual healer. And despite all his many diverse talents, he's known as one of the most humble of all the teachers. And one of his other projects is the work we're undertaking to introduce here today, the work of triangles, which he called a service activity. Triangles is a simple visualization technique using the power of thought. Each triangle is composed of 3 people who agree to link up in consciousness each day. And you don't have to know your triangle's members, but it's helpful to keep in touch from time to time. The work doesn't have to be done at the same time, nor in the same place. Triangles workers can live on completely different sides of the planet. They link up subjectively by visualizing a triangle of light between themselves, seeing then the energies circulating around the triangle from point to point. And then they link up with the planetary network of triangles, visualizing the energies circulating. And then they close by sounding the Great Invocation, a world prayer that's used to circulate and distribute the energies so that they can be contacted by all open hearts and minds.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. So is triangles limited to those familiar with these teachings?
No, not at all. That's a great question. The work of triangles is open to anyone who believes in the power of thought. And it's such a simple activity that it can be undertaken by literally anyone in the world who's interested.
Anyone who believes in the power of thought.
Yes.
And Kathy, you shared recently with Fumi and myself that it is significant that the Japanese people work with triangles.
Yes, that's true. And that's the Tibetan, this teacher has said that the Japanese have a particular aptitude or propensity for the triangles work because of their innate understanding of this power of thought. So work in triangles involves visualization, the use of the creative power of sound and the word. And these are given expression through the use of the Great Invocation. And so through their innate understanding, the Japanese people will do much, therefore, to bring forward this task of affecting change within what's called the etheric structure of the planet. This is the energy body surrounding our planet. And it's said that at present, this etheric structure surrounding the earth is composed of a network of squares, which is really the symbol of the personality. But it's said that through the network of triangles members, in coordination with all spiritual people throughout the world, we're going to be able together to reconfigure, to change the very structure of this planetary network into one of triangles, which we're told is the symbol of the soul. So as this triangular network emerges, will occur over a long, long period of time, eventually the life and nature of the spiritual atmosphere on our planet will become elevated. And it said we will become what's known as a sacred planet, a planet that's under the influence of its soul, no longer its personality. That's our goal.
So tell us about the use of the Great Invocation, as a great prayer for world peace.
Yes, it was a prayer that was given out at the end of the Second World War in June 1945. And it's a prayer that's designed to be used by all people, anywhere. It's not limited to any one religion or group. It's an invocation that serves to call forth or invoke potent energies to flow through into our planet from distant sources. Flowing through, we're told, a great chain of beings or great lives. They flow in through a chain and through the network of triangles surrounding the planet, and then are released into the minds and hearts of all humanity. So the Great Invocation is a powerful prayer to bring this light, love, and power to all humanity, establishing thereby peace on earth, which I know is the goal of your work together as well. So as we say the invocation, we visualize the streaming forth from the inner workers behind the scene, this release of potent energies that are then distributed to all humanity through what's called the 5 planetary centers, 5 cities: London, Darjeeling, New York, Geneva, and Tokyo.
So a final question, Kathy. Please tell us about the Tokyo Planetary Center.
Yes, so each of these cities, these 5 cities, constitute what's called a planetary chakra system. And as such, each one, of which Tokyo is one, contributes to the creative expression of this great life of our planet, this life in which we live and move and have our being, sometimes known as the planetary logos. And it's said that the work of triangles, as it becomes increasingly effective in our world, will contribute to a fuller awakening of this center of Tokyo, which is the last of the planetary centers to come into really powerful functioning, and which started in the middle of the last century. So the idea is that through the triangles work, a subjective atmosphere will be created within the subtle air surrounding the planet. And through this atmosphere, a form will emerge, a type of form through which the anchorage of a great life, a great angelic or Davic life, will be able to be anchored through the city of Tokyo, which will make it able to function in a new way, no longer principally as the major center within Japan, but taking on a fuller and wider purpose within the planet as a whole. So this is the prophecy that we might say is one of the reasons why we are so grateful to Fumi in particular to have this opportunity to present Triangle's work to the group today.
Thank you, Kathy. So please let us experience the Triangles meditation that you offer in your live weekly meeting. We know that the Great Invocation is used daily with our triangles. And after you sound the Great Invocation in English, Danielle Seto will sound it in Japanese, followed by the sounding of a Tibetan singing bowl 3 times.
Well, thank you all so much. So let's begin by just taking a deep breath. And coming together by linking in thought as a vast soul, a point of love and light with all of us here today and all people throughout the world who are working with this Triangles meditation group. And we now visualize a bridge of light connecting us to the inner center of our planetary life. And we sound an affirmation of will. Project that bridge to the highest center. In the center of the will of God, I stand. Naught shall deflect my will from his. I implement that will by love. I turn towards the field of service. I, the triangle divine, work out that will within the square and serve my fellow men. Using the creative imagination, link with 2 other points of light to create a triangle of light. Now visualize the triangle in which you are working as an essential part of the Radiant Worldwide Triangles Network. Hold the consciousness immersed within the light of the group soul, the heart of love which infuses and underlies the network. Lift the consciousness to the world teacher who stands as the heart of love at the center of the spiritual hierarchy and also at the heart of each triangle. Now visualize the energies of love, light, and goodwill circulating in and around the triangle's network. Visualize these energies unifying and eliminating all divisions within humanity, healing and transforming human consciousness, and establishing right human relationships. Sounding the mantra of unification. The souls of all are one, and I am one with them. I seek to love, not hate. I seek to serve and not exact due service. I seek to heal, not hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form and life and all events, and bring to light the love that underlies the happenings of the time. Let vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate and outer cleavages be gone. Let love prevail. Let all people love. Visualize the whole planet alight with triangles, and see new triangles being formed everywhere. As we sound the Great Invocation and repeat each stanza, let's visualize the network acting as a link between the world of spiritual realities and humanity, and as a channel through which light and love and divine purpose may flow into human consciousness. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Arigato.
大祈願、神の御心の光の源より、人間の心に光が流れ入り、地球に光が下ろされますように。神の御心の愛の源より、人間の心に愛が流れ入り、地球に救世主が戻られますように。神の意志が知られる中心より、弱き人間の意志が大目的により導かれますように。それはマスターたちが悟り、使える大目的なのである。人類と呼ばれる中心より、愛と光の大計画が輝き出し、悪の扉が閉ざされますように。光と愛と道からにより、地球の大計画が復活されますように。Thank you.
Thank you. Arigato. And Kathy will share with us later in the program how we can participate in triangles together. It is now my great joy to welcome my dear sister, Fumi Stewart, a member of Byakko Shinko Kai. Fumi.
Thank you so much, Dot. And thank you, Kathy, for that beautiful introduction, connecting us to the work of triangles. And during that whole process, I really felt that the Tokyo Center was just unfolding and opening as we gather here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's really such an honor for me and all of our Byakko Shinko Kai members to be with our fellow world servers from Triangles in the spirit of love, peace, and goodwill. So today, before we present our various mudras and practices, I'd like to give a short introduction to the work of Fuji Sanctuary, which is a spiritual center for Byakko Shinko Kai. We call the group Byakko for short, and this means white light. So let me start a short PowerPoint to share with you. And if you will, be a little patient, I will do a screen share. Okay, share sound. And here we go. Okay. Okay. So let me begin by introducing you to the founder, Masahisa Goi, who was born in 1916 in Tokyo. He grew up to be a great admirer of the arts, music, and poetry. After the devastation of the atomic bombs that fell on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the aftermath of World War II, Master Goi dedicated himself to spiritual studies. At age 33, in a moment of deep meditation and oneness with the divine, he attained what is called the state of enlightenment. Soon after, he received and anchored the universal message and prayer for peace. May peace prevail on earth through divine guidance. Master Goi explained that an agreement was made with the higher worlds that whenever this prayer, may peace prevail on earth, is recited, the great light of salvation, which will shine forth without fail, transforming the frequencies of the world into one of great, harmonious light vibration. Now let us visit Fuji Sanctuary, which is the spiritual home of Byakko Shinko Kai. Fuji Sanctuary is located at the foot of Mount Fuji, spanning 73 acres, with the outdoor prayer field as the main stage, where all the ceremonies take place, regardless of snow, rain, or stormy weather. With Mount Fuji as a backdrop, a communion with the higher worlds, the great light of salvation, and advanced galactic beings take place as thousands of members gather to offer their physical vessel to God's work. The ceremonies are exquisite and conducted with precision, grace, and sacred reverence. Here you see Masami Sayonji, daughter of Masahisa Goi, who serves as current chairperson and spiritual leader. Prayers are dedicated to the soul evolution of each country during the World Peace Prayer Ceremony for the divine awakening of each nation state. The work of Byakko is love in action, and bring sacred science and religion together through rituals and ceremonies. Today, over 200,000 peace poles with the message, "May peace prevail on earth," have been planted by members and supporters on every continent. They stand as beacons of light and healing acupunctures of the earth. So with that short introduction, it now gives me great pleasure to ask our Byakko Shinko Kai members to present and perform the various prayers and mudras that are used during our ceremonies. Okay. You are now invited to walk with us into the energy field of Fuji Sanctuary to merge the work of triangles and Byakko to exponentially radiate the spirit of love and light out to the world. So let us begin. Please hold on. Okay. So let us begin. Okay. I'd like to call.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Okay.
Yes.
Hello. My name is Shohei Tominaga from Hiroshima. I'll be reading the prayer for world peace in English and Japanese. First, I'll read the prayer in English. You are invited to recite the prayer with me. Prayer for world peace. May peace prevail on earth. May peace be in our homes and countries. May our missions be accomplished. We thank you, guardian deities and guardian spirits. Now I recite the prayer for world peace in Japanese. 世界平和の祈り。世界人類が平和でありますように。日本が平和でありますように。私たちの天命が全うされますように。守護霊様、ありがとうございます。守護神様、ありがとうございます。ありがとうございました。
And now we have Takemi.
Hello, my name is Takemi Sekido. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I'm honored to present the mudra Ware Sok Kaminari. I am a divine being. You are invited to read the declaration with me, which gives the intention behind the movements of the mudra. I will now begin by reading the declaration. Please join us in performing the mudra, which follows. Declaration. Ware Soku Kaminari. I am a divine being. The words I speak are the words of God. The thoughts I emit are the thoughts of God. The actions I take are the actions of God. The words, thoughts, and actions of God are abundantly overflowing with infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite joy, infinite happiness, infinite gratitude, infinite life, infinite health, infinite light, infinite energy, infinite power, infinite success, and infinite supply. They are nothing more, nothing else. Therefore, Ware Sok Kaminari, I am a divine being who speaks, thinks, and acts just as God does. I will brighten and elevate myself to become none other than God, so that when others see me, they cannot help but think that they have seen God. Those who have seen me have seen God. I emanate light and continue to radiate the most supreme infinite love of God to all humanity. Hai. Thank you.
The next in will be presented by Tomoko Ukai.
Hello, my name is Tomoko Ukai. I'm so honored to present the mudra, Jinrui Soku Kami Nari. Humanity is a divine being. You are invited to read the declaration with me, which gives the intention behind the movements of this mudra. I will now begin by reading the declaration, and please join us in performing the mudra, which follows. Declaration. 人類即 Fumi-san, please. Thank you. Declaration. 人類即神なり Humanity is a divine being. What I speak, think, and do are only for humanity, only for the happiness of humanity, only for the peace of humanity, only for the awakening of humanity. Therefore, words, thoughts, and actions I myself have are beyond any selfishness, ego, or conflict. They are in themselves the universe, light, truth, and the existence of God. Any disasters, environmental pollution, hunger, or diseases taking place on earth occur only in the process of Jinrui Soku Kaminari, manifesting God within humanity. Wars, ethnic and religious conflicts happening in the world also occur in the process of Jinrui Soku Kaminari, manifesting God within humanity. Thus, I don't hold any criticism, blame, or judgment toward any incidents, circumstances, news, or information on earth, toward various ways of living, thoughts, and actions of mankind, or toward inventions that have intruded into the realm of God through limited human knowledge. I do not involve myself with these things, understanding that they occur only in the process of Jinrui Soku Kaminari, manifesting God within humanity. I intently continue giving the infinite love, forgiveness, and mercy of God to humanity. And until the time when all humanity awakens to truth, I continue performing the aim of Jinrui Soku Kaminari on behalf of each human being. Hi. Thank you very much.
Yeah. The next mudra will be presented by Hideo Nakazawa.
We members of Byakko perform several mudras. And now I introduce you a mudra called Divine Spark In. As you know, mudra is a symbolic or ritual pose used in Hinduism and Buddhism. In is the Japanese word for mudra. Mudra is an intensified form of prayer and meditation. You have looked at Ware Soku Kaminari in and Jinrei Soku Kaminari in. Both mudras, both ins, in both mudras used hand movement and sounds. Now, the Divine Spark In is a combination of hand movements and special breathing. It is the most powerful mudra that not only develops the spirituality of the performer, but also makes a great contribution to world peace, evoking strong divine energy. So I'd like to introduce you this mudra together with other members of Byakko. Hi. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Keiko Nakamichi, and I would like to invite you to join me in sending gratitude to nature, radiating our love and gratitude to all living things through the movements of our mudra. I will announce the names of each of the elements and invite you to perform the mudras together. The words and the movements to the mudra are simple. Please follow after us. Gratitude to the ocean. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of the ocean. Dear ocean, we thank you. Gratitude to the earth. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of the earth. Dear earth, we thank you. Gratitude to mountains. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of mountains. Dear mountains, we thank you. Gratitude to food. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of food. Dear food, we thank you. Gratitude to plants. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of plants. Dear plants, we thank you. Gratitude to animals. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of animals. Dear animals, we thank you. Gratitude to minerals. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of minerals. Dear minerals, we thank you. Gratitude to heavenly phenomena. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of heavenly phenomena. Dear heavenly phenomena, we thank you. Gratitude to the air. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of the air. Dear air, we thank you. Gratitude to the sun. On behalf of humanity, we thank you, divinities in charge of the sun. Dear sun, we thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hi, Becky.
Yes. Yes.
Ready, thanks.
Hi. Hi. Hello, my name is Masaharu Saito. I would like to invite you now to join us in sending prayers for peace to each of the world's continents. Let us together send our deep prayers for peace, harmony, and healing to each region of the world to awaken the soul of each nation. Please join us to add your prayers to enlighten humanity and all living things. Europe. May peace be in Europe. May peace prevail on us. the Middle East. May peace be in the Middle East. May peace prevail on us. Asia. May peace be in Asia. May peace prevail on us. Oceania. May peace be in Oceania. May peace prevail on us. Africa. May peace be in Africa. May peace prevail on us. South America. May peace be in South America. May peace prevail on us. North and Central America. May peace be in North and Central America. May peace prevail on us. All the indigenous nations. May peace be in all the indigenous nations. May peace prevail on us. Please join me now in saying, may peace prevail on us. 3 times to close our prayers. Hi. May peace prevail on us. May peace prevail on us. May peace prevail on us. Thank you. ありがとうございました。
Thank you. Thank you so much, Byakko Shinko Kai. May peace prevail on earth. And now it is a joy to welcome Wendy Thompson, co-founder of the Global Silent Minute.
Okay, and thank you, Dot. Now I'm just going to screen share. Okay. It's been such a beautiful synthesis of presentations, and it seems like we're saying very similar things through different perspectives. So just as Mount Fuji is central to the work in Japan, Mount Kailash is at the heart of the Global Silent Minute. Mountains all over our beautiful planet in the visible world embody the living principle of evolution in the form of ascent to the summit and our striving towards the heavens. The ancients knew, and we are remembering, that mountains are like portals to the cosmos. Legend has it that Mount Kailash is the place where the great spiritual mountain at the center of the universe, Mount Becky, did you not hear any of that? Was that all muted?
It was not all muted. It was just the last 3 seconds. I noticed you went mute.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll just repeat what I think was the last 3 seconds. So legend has it that Mount Kailash is the place where the great spiritual mountain at the center of the universe, Mount Meru, comes to rest on Earth as the central pivot around which the whole of creation revolves. It is the site where the eternal and the temporal unite, and the divine Mount Meru externalizes in the form of Mount Kailash. It's significant that Mount Kailash takes the shape of a bell, as if a divine sculptor had molded it to be the largest natural bell on the planet, in concordance and reverence to the majesty of its inner counterpart that is connected to the cosmic bell that rings from the heart of cosmos. Given that Mount Kailash is a mountain, it's a very slow moving bell that requires exquisite silence and stillness to register its ringing. It requires our attunement to the unfolding, yet to be heard, deep rhythms of the universe. Meru in Sanskrit originates from the word spine, and it is said that it is through the interpenetrating worlds of Mount Meru and Mount Kailash that the axis of the world passes through the earth, with Mount Kailash crowning the top of the planetary spine. As both the planetary crown and the planetary bell, Mount Kailash is known as the Mountain of the Bell, whose ringing reverberates throughout the planetary sphere. Mount Kailash serves as a portal between two worlds, the eternal and temporal, which brings us to the DNA of the silent minute. The seed for the silent minute was planted on a battlefield outside Jerusalem in World War I between two soldiers, when one had a vision that he would not survive the war, could see a greater war coming, and urged his comrade to find a way for him and the millions like him on the other side of the veil to cooperate together each day through the power of silence. He died on the battlefield the next day, and it took his comrade Wellesley Tudorpole 23 years to bring this seed to life in World War II in the form of the silent minute, where each night millions of people, both sides of the veil, shared a minute of silence at 9 p.m. GMT that was preceded by the sounding of the bells of Big Ben. The power of this cooperation in silence between humanity in the visible and invisible realms proved to be a sacred spiritual weapon that impacted the course of the war. After the war, Wellesley Tudorpole encouraged the development of the understanding and use of the power of silence. The Global Silent Minute, launched in December 2019, builds on this work on a global scale, recognizing the necessity to unite our hearts across distance, both around the globe in the visible world and across the veil in the invisible world, in the one heart, recognizing our sacred unity in silence and the undeniable power of this silence as action to address the many challenges in the outer world by externalizing our deep knowing from the inner realms. Further, we knew from the beginning that the bell to precede the global silent minute needed to be a bell for the planet. Indeed, the mountain of the bell, crowning the planetary spine at the top of the world, Mount Kailash. As the planetary bell, Mount Kailash is the conduit between the center of our cosmic foundation, which is called the bell, and the individual bell center, which resides in each and every one of us. As we participate daily in the Global Silent Minute, we recalibrate, refresh, and reset our identification within the one life, simultaneously embracing the living silence of the cosmic bell, which rings its celestial harmonies throughout the universe, including through our planetary bell, ringing these fundamental chords through the planetary sphere, all the way through to the individual bell in each and every one of us. We know when something strikes a chord within us. We know when something sounds true. It's as if we feel it coming from our deep inner knowing, that place where truth is beauty and we feel its harmony. The ancients and all spiritual traditions have known, and all branches of science are bringing to awareness the livingness of the underlying synthesis of life. We're recognizing the interconnectedness of the one life everywhere in the wood wide web of our forests, the reality of the living network of the human organisms underpinning the life of organizations, and so on, as humanity demonstrates its willingness and wisdom to tackle the challenges of modern life by learning from 3.8 billion years of experimentation already undertaken by Mother Nature. A great poet has said, illumined by the radiance of the Mother of the world, our physical existence is seen to be but a grain of sand. But the accumulation in the chalice is like a radiant mountain. In our daily practice of the Global Silent Minute at 9 p.m. GMT, we come together in the knowing and livingness of our sacred unity in the oneness of life, in the knowing and livingness of the depth of our true identity, and in the knowing and livingness of the reality of the power of silence as action. In this silence, we are aware of the invisible geometric, energetic architecture substanding all outer forms that are in the process of coming into resonant coherence with their inner counterparts. Our triangular connections in the outer world, hearts across distance, around the world, serve to externalize or make real this inner reality. Dot will now take us into the experience of the Global Silent Minute to distribute the energies that we have contacted in the chalice of our gathering and sharing. Thank you.
It is a joy and an honor to offer this Global Silent Minute dedicated to triangles for world peace with Awana Collectiva, our sisters tending the sacred fire in the Amazon on behalf of all life. As we focus our collective intention through silence as action in sacred unity, we activate an exponential healing process for all of life to experience peace, living together in harmonious relationship. We ring a bell to enter the minute of silence. Why ring a bell? Thich Nhat Hanh says, the bell calls us back to our true selves. The deep meaning of the bell offers humanity the opportunity to realize our relationship with and within cosmos as we listen and align in the silence to the cosmic bell, to the planetary bell, Mount Kailash, known in Tibet as the Mountain of the Bell, and to the bell within each one of us. So let us take a deep breath and know peace in our own hearts. And unite our hearts across distance. And now we take another moment and invite all those on the other side of the veil to cooperate with our shared intention. The next thing you will hear is an Indian elephant temple bell calling us into our global silent minute as we hold the shared intention of global cooperation, peace, and freedom. And when you hear the Tibetan singing bowl sounding 12 times, gently bring yourself back to this moment, knowing that we have served as a chalice of accumulations distributed on behalf of the common good. And finally, this evening, we'd like to invite back to the screen here Kathy Newburn, Fumi-san, Wendy, and say thank you, arigato, to everyone. And we'd like to take just a moment to share how we can participate in triangles. Kathy, if you will.
Well, as I said, it's a simple practice, very simple. Should only take a couple minutes each day, so it can be fit into even the busiest of schedules. And so you simply link with your two partners, visualizing a triangle of light and the energies circulating around that triangle, bringing out the soul of each of the participants. And then you link your triangle in the light with all the other triangles surrounding the planet and visualize those energies circulating. And then you sound the Great Invocation and end with an Om. And that's really it. And so if anyone is interested, we would really love to have particularly Japanese people making triangles with one another, making triangles with people from other countries. We'll do what we can to, get that happening. So we've provided a little form that Becky has helped us pull together that we're posting in the chat. So if you're interested, you just fill out the form and we will get back to you with how to find two other partners. We'll pair you up if you'd like, or if you have a triangle of 3 people, just list that on the form and we'll get back to you with some additional information. So thank you so much. And we really wonderful to have this opportunity to work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And so we have also shared in the chat various ways to connect with triangles, the website and the meditation group. There's a weekly triangles webinar. And Fumi-san, can you put in the chat how people can find out more about the work of Byakko Shinkokai? And you're muted, Fumi-san.
Yes, thank you, Dot and Kathy. I'd like to network this triangle project activity with our Japanese friends, and I will be speaking to our network to see how we can follow through with that. So Kathy, let's try to collaborate and see what we can do, form triangles, and it's such a beautiful opportunity for like you say, Dot, people across distance to connect and just energetically know that they're part of a triangle and something even greater than a triangle, just a whole a beautiful network of world servers coming together. And it may be a beautiful way of sharing each other's practices as well. So Great Invocation, may peace prevail on earth. What a beautiful way to merge those two activities and practices, and with people who truly believe in the power of thought.
Yes, that energy follows thought. Yes, indeed.
And I really thought that the way Wendy described the work of Global Silent Minute as a Kailash, symbolizing a connecting link between worlds, I think that's what all of us are doing in our groups together. We're using the techniques to bridge between this world and the inner worlds and bring through the energy from those worlds to flow out through the network of triangles, through all of Global Silent Minute, and through Byakko Kai's work too. Yes.
And Wendy, it's so beautiful. Every time I see Mount Kailash, I really feel that Mount Fuji and Mount Kailash are brothers, sisters, good friends, as we said the other day. So there's energetically something that is so profound. Just even seeing a visual picture of those two mountains, let alone knowing, you know, the invisible work and all of the you know, good work that takes place behind the scenes without our knowing, constantly to heal,
Yes.
cleanse our planet.
Yes, and how they all connect, those sacred mountains with Mount Fuji, Mount Kailash, and all, whether it's little hills around, you know, we've got Michael's tour in Glastonbury, and we've got Uluru in Australia, all of these outcrops that are sort of rising are all, we can imagine that they're all connected in some way, in the same way that we aspire. Well, upwards, but inwards. And it's really beautiful to have this experience today, and to imagine that the connections between Japan, USA, Australia, as well as the rest of the world, but to see those triangles spread out, you know, really beautiful to see.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I wanted to just mention one final point, Dot, I had mentioned to you that it would be a great opportunity to bring to the attention of those in this group who don't know about the Wissac Festival, which occurs in the valley beneath Mount Kailash. Each year it's a high point of the spiritual year, and it happens to be occurring not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, I think that's the 26th, Monday in the West. And it's an opportunity of supreme spiritual importance. And so the Lucis Trust has a website, www.wissacfestival.org. And so if you want more information to find out about this tremendous spiritual festival between East and West, you can check that website for more information.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Fumi-san. Thank you, Byako Shinko Kai. Thank you, Triangles Group. And muchos gracias, Awana Colectiva.
Sí.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias, hermanas. Thank you so much.
So much love. Kathy, please say that in Spanish. So much love.
Mucho amor para todos.
Mucho amor, mucho amor.
Y nosotros,
Gracias.
Nosotros de Triángulos tenemos nuestro sitio web, todo en español también, si tienen.
Qué bueno.
Gracias. So thank you, everyone. We will close the meeting now. And Fumi-san, will you have us sound "May Peace Prevail on Earth" 3 times to close?
Yes. So I invite you to close this beautiful convergence of souls and prayers and ceremony by saying, "May peace prevail on earth" 3 times together. And Dot, would you like to ring the bell after, and so we can just be in silence for just a little while. Okay, together. May peace prevail.
May peace prevail on earth. Peace prevail on
Peace prevail on earth.